the moment that you ask the question, what's wrong with me? That is because you are identifying mostly with your ego. And so a young child who hasn't yet developed a lot of ego might have some pain, might fall down, might have tears, but he's not identifying himself or herself to his personality, to his thoughts. He's not ruminating, for example. He doesn't have any of these psychological makeup of the ego. So he's a lot freer, lighter, and just flowing with life. So he's flowing as his spirit much more easily. Every child is closer to their spirit when they're young than later on in their life. This is one of the indications of the presence of spirit. Each child is so different, so unique, yet is so free, so much freer. And that is the state. They don't ask themselves what's wrong with themselves. They don't. That is not a question, because there's nothing yet implying that their identity is the problem. Life causes them certain suffering, but it's not their identity that puts them into some sort of crisis until they develop maybe until somebody starts to tell them that there's something wrong with them. Why you do this? Why do you do that? Why do you, then they start to have this self-consciousness of the self and thinking it is the self that is the problem. So back to the adult, whenever you feel that there's something wrong with you, it's because you are also you're too identified to the person, the self, the thoughts, the pain. And when in fact what I'm saying is that the more you realize that you are spirit before you are this personality or this identity, the more you realize and connect to that side of yourself, and you observe your personality, your identity from your spirit side, then you're observing it. You're observing yourself in this theater of life, in this play, in this whatever you want to call it, in this movie. And so you're observing yourself. You don't say that character, there's a problem. You're just, watching something unfolding and guiding whether you want to go left or right, depending on what feels better, because then you're connected to that spirit part of you, which senses things, which feels things, and which has the intelligence of intuitively telling you where to go, what to think, how to feel. And whatever you do then in your life, there's never anything wrong with it, because you are, first of all, the spirit that is watching all of this happening. And spirit itself doesn't have anything wrong. There's nothing wrong with it, just like the child. It's just going for it. It's going for life, wanting to experience life through this sensory body, sensory feeling, touching, smelling, seeing body. Well, I hope that helps clear up a little bit the question of what's wrong with me and how it applies only when you are in a state of identifying only with the ego. Thank you for your presence.